Hello everybody, welcome to the Arkansas Weather Blog. We are your ticket to big weather events, recording this Wednesday, February 21st, right at 7 p.m. But wait, there's more. I'm afraid that this is just the beginning, and I don't want to waste your time. There's a lot to go over here, but I see two more rounds of significant rainfall, both of which will increase the flooding threat, obviously, with the saturated ground, dormant vegetation. The second one comes Saturday, and that could bring some severe weather. Let me show you here with several maps. This is from the Weather Prediction Center, and this is the frontal boundary. This is Thursday, starting to shift back towards the north. So very warm air to the south of it, very cold air to the north of it, and a flow out of the southwest and the upper levels of the atmosphere transporting disturbances. So this is going to be the focus area for additional heavy rainfall. Kind of waffles around. This is late Friday. The front continues to waffle around with very heavy rain along and just north of the boundary. Do you see this area of low pressure out here? Well, there's a strong storm system aloft. That pulls out for Saturday, and there it is. It kicks the warm front to the north. This is Saturday morning. This puts most of Arkansas firmly into the warm sector. How much instability? We'll see. But there will be that chance for increasing instability, and as the system comes through with a lot of cooling aloft, we could see some thunderstorm activity, and I think some of them could be severe. It blows through here quickly. I think threat's over with by Saturday evening, so that's the possibility for severe weather. The Storm Prediction Center, I'm not quite sure how much of this you can see, but anyway, the Storm Prediction Center already has much of the southeastern half of the state in a slight risk for severe weather. I think this will also encompass portions of the northern Arkansas before too long. As far as the excessive rainfall with that frontal boundary stalling out and kind of waffling around along the north of that boundary, there's a moderate threat for excessive rainfall, more excessive rainfall. How much? Starting at 6 p.m. today. Again, right along and north of that boundary, right in there, there's an additional 5 inches of rain. That's according to the Weather Prediction Center. Now let me take you through the North American model, the NAM. This is from weatherbell.com. Scroll this. This is this evening, and the warm air, we stay firmly entrenched in the cold sector of that boundary through tomorrow. And I want to show you that the warm air fights back. On Friday, 65 in Monticello to 47 in Little Rock, low 40s in northwest Arkansas. It is even more exaggerated by noon on Friday, where we have 70s. I mean, very sharp boundary. You go from 72 in Monticello to 49 degrees here. So along and north of that boundary, this is going to be the focus area, that I-30 corridor up to the 67, 167 corridor, which will be most vulnerable to additional heavy rain. And watch what happens to the warm sector. It winds out. Remember that warm front kicks towards the north? So this is Saturday afternoon, and it's at this is at noon, and we have near 70 to 75 degrees across much of Arkansas as we are firmly in the warm sector. And these are CAPE values, convective available potential energy. This is the fuel for thunderstorms, and it is elevated, so we're going to have some instability around. Now let me show you simulated radar. Let's back this up. Starting with this evening, we have a winter weather advisory in effect for northern Arkansas. That blue line is the 32-degree line. We're going to continue with rain throughout the evening, but it should taper off. The steady rain, there will be showers, but it will taper off in coverage and intensity, but come roaring right back. Remember that next disturbance lining up with where that front's going to be. The front, remember this is Friday morning. So that front's right in here along and north of that boundary, and it looks like there's going to be another area of focus for heavy, heavy rainfall. That's where the Weather Prediction Center, remember, they're putting out another 5 inches of rainfall. I'll show you what the NAM is showing in just a second. This is by 9 a.m. on Friday. Again, it's a narrow corridor here of very heavy rainfall. Where this sets up means everything. How much more rain will we get, and exactly where does that corridor set up? And I believe it's going to be right in this area. I think the NAM's pretty much onto this. And it slowly shifts towards the north by noon on Friday because that warm air is kicking north with that frontal boundary. Then the front comes through. Watch what happens on Saturday. That's Saturday at noon. Showers and thunderstorms start developing. And then I think as we get more heat and instability throughout the day, it forms more into a line. And that's by 6 p.m. The back edge moving through Little Rock. Again, the timing of this still subject to change. But this should end this rainy week, and we should dry out for a few days. But all in all, total precipitation, additional, again, it's that area right in there, is showing an additional 4-5 inches of rainfall all in this area. And we've already had reports of 4, 5, and 6 inches of rainfall. So this is going to add insult to injury across much of southwest, central, and northeast Arkansas, the way the models are lining up right now. Any adjustment of that frontal boundary is going to mean everything, and along with the disturbances coming across that, where that focus should be. But I think it's going to line up along the I-30 corridor right up through central Arkansas. So stay with Channel 7. Remember, turn around, don't drown. Rivers are going to continue to rise. Streams are going to continue to rise. We've already seen roads washed out. If you've been following on Facebook and on Twitter, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's all over the state. This is just a good old-fashioned late winter, early spring flood event that we do get in Arkansas from time to time. It is a big deal. It's dangerous, and we want to make sure that everybody stays safe, and stay with Channel 7. Have a great one, everybody.